Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kissy. So today I wanted to do a reading for the collective, general reading across the board, right? And as I started to get into preparing myself for the reading, I heard the benefits of staying in a shitty marriage. So obviously, I'm going to sit with that for a moment and think about the benefits of staying in a shitty marriage, or of being in a shitty marriage, something like that, right? And I guess the only thing I can come up with was that it would be to have the benefits of staying in a crappy marriage would basically be to have the rights to say, this is I accomplished this, and because I did, look how well I'm still accomplishing this. Like, look how great I'm doing life. I vowed to do this however long ago, and here we still are standing strong. So it's like a competition of who can outwin who can stay together the longest. And there's a difference between, fighting for your marriage versus fighting in your marriage. There's a difference between working on the partnership to grow and learn and to support each other, because there's genuine love there, and there's genuine mutual interest in what is being created between the union, versus a couple that forces themselves to stay together despite either one wanting to be a better version of themselves for the other, to be happier. Like, okay, we're miserably together, therefore it's like I'm miserable and I agree to be miserable with you. That's kind of like what that is. It's like, I have no intention of getting out of my misery or doing, or being happy elsewhere or without you. So I'll agree to stay in a mediocre situation with you, and you agree to do so too. And we'll live within those boundaries, and we'll create a certain dynamic that says we accept these things in each other that we really don't like, and we'll continue to do the things that hurt each other, even though we know it hurts each other. But hey, it's our habits, and we've accepted it. So because those are our habits and that's how we are, then we're just going to be that way. But hey, we get to show the world that we have a perfect life. Hey, we get to show the world that we've accumulated all these things together, this perfect life that isn't real. And it sounds, I guess, maybe harsh, because I get it why people wouldn't want to separate. So when I heard that term, the benefits of staying in a crappy marriage, I guess the benefits would be not having to do the work of starting over, not having to do the work of being seen within the environment, within the group, or within the at work, family, friends, or whatever, to be seen in a different status. People cannot accept the change of their status. Like, the idea of being single after having been identified as married for so long, or the idea of being independent after having been identified as a team for so long. You know what I mean? Like, I understand all of those reasonings why it would benefit not to leave, because leaving is a whole it's an unknown world. You have no idea how you're going to do it, or you have no idea, because it's different. Like, okay, it's like, for example, when you're a young teenager in love and you're in a partnership and you break up, the only thing that you got to get used to is not being with that person. But there's nothing else, nothing really changed. You live at home with your family, they live at home with their family. You guys might have mutual friends, and that might be the only, if any, one of the downsides or downfalls of a breakup when you're young is that maybe it'll be awkward. You may not be able to hang out with those same friends anymore because they still hang out with that person, and because you're not together anymore, those friendships just don't you just can't be the same way anymore. So somebody ends up leaving, which reminds me of the episode of Friends when they're like, who do we hang out with? Like, I don't remember which episode it was, but it was something about the breakup and who gets to stay with the friends. And then they were arguing over, why do I get kicked out of the group? No, you get kicked out of the group because like somebody has to leave in order for this new person to enter. So that's a message. But okay, you see how I am? I kind of get what's the word? Directed in different places. But anyways, okay, back to where we were. The couple thing is not easy to dissolve, especially in a partnership when you're adults and there are now children involved that has been created by the union, or maybe a business, or maybe perhaps assets, houses, cars, and bigger end toys, right? The reason we even have a system of divorce is because people really have a hard time letting go of the things that they've identified with as this is, my life was supposed to be like this. I chose this life and it's going to stay like this forever. If you say, I said I do and I do meant forever, and now you are telling me that forever is not going to be, wait, what? Some people have a problem with that. Like you can't just end somebody's projected future because you're unsure of it. You know what I mean? Like that is crazy. And that's how people end up in this devil energy where they're like, keeping people locked down on obligations that they really want to do away with. But the level of guilt that's attached to, how dare you ruin my life? Like, I didn't choose this. Even if sometimes it seems like they didn't choose it, they chose it because there's a stagnancy or complacency about not discussing what makes you unhappy. Like, let's pretend we're happy even though we're not, until it finally blows up. And then you're like, I've never been happy. Now you want to leave, but you know what I mean? But nobody was trying to fix it all along. So those people may have a hard time letting go when things, kind of go kaput and they have to change their lifestyle. It is really not easy. It's not easy to move on from things that you become attached to, especially when it comes to love, especially when it comes to, what your comforts. Like, you got comfortable with a family, you got comfortable with someone taking care of you, you got comfortable with someone, taking these responsibilities off your plate, and you got comfortable with someone being there with you. And then all of a sudden, you realize, holy shit, this person's no longer going to do these things for me. This person's not going to be there for me. And now you got to do what you weren't doing. So, like, you have the individual that was doing it. This is also, I'm thinking of Mrs. Doubtfire, the movie. I actually watched it I don't know if it was maybe a few weeks ago, but I just scanned through it. I didn't really watch it. I don't know. It came through. I looked at it a little bit because I do like the movie, but I didn't really sit through it. And then yesterday I was taking my son to go play, and we were in the recreation hall where they have a TV there, and as I looked through the channels, the movie was there. And I'm like, all right, so Mrs. Doubtfire. The issue, I remember watching that, and I remember how it made me feel when I saw the look on Robin Williams' face when the judge said, you can't have your children. Like, I was a kid watching that. I had to be I don't know, in elementary, if not early middle school or something, when I saw that movie. But it left an impression on me because it made me question things in terms of how would and that's kind of how I look at the world in a lot of ways. No matter what it is, a movie, a story somebody tells me, any situation, I always kind of put myself in those shoes and then try to make a rational, how would I respond to this if it happened? Not that I want it to happen, but I want to get to what the solution is to that problem, because if it ever came up to me having to deal with it, I would like to at least be prepared for it. So I watched that and I imagine, how do you prevent your children from being, taken from you that you love so much? Because clearly he loved his children, right? He was a loving father, but he was very childish. He was very immature, and his wife was constantly taking care of the problem. She ends up having to divorce him because she's had enough. Now, he's, please, I'll fix it. But it's based on what you see. Clearly, this wasn't the first time. He's done it a million times. It's like, at what point do you stop playing around and take somebody serious when they say, I'm getting tired of this shit? I don't want to do this anymore. Like, please grow up, pick up the slack, or, do your part. Like, this is overwhelming for me. So if you have somebody telling you this day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, like Virgo would, like, at what point did you expect, or at what point do you think that this person is just going to do this shit on a cycle, like a hamster on a hamster wheel? No, eventually people get tired, and eventually people say, you know what? I am not going to fight for this anymore. I'm not going to strive for this anymore. I'm not going to work on this anymore. I'm not going to do anything for this anymore, because this, I can't keep doing it. You're not listening to me when I say I can't keep doing it, and you want to act like I'm the villain when I tell you this, and you want to go into all these little, childish game playing manipulations like Robin Williams did in the movie. He had to go so far as to put on a costume, pretend to be a nanny just so he can be in his children's lives, and then actually become mature and responsible and practical and do the things methodically that he was supposed to do, that he regretted he didn't do, then now he has to do, acting like an old lady nanny, and watching her, his ex-wife now, with a successful man, ready to get married. But in the process, he learned that he wasn't, that just being a fun dad, because it was easier for him to play around than to do the hard work of being the adult to children that need to be guided, that life cannot just be fun and games all day, every day. We need to take a break. We need to take care of business. We need to do what we need to do to be responsible for ourselves so that we can have a structured, balanced life in the future. That's what a parent's job is. Hold on. Okay. And so, all that. So, where were we? I got distracted because, again, my phone keeps saying storage full. I keep emptying out the storage stuff, but it still keeps... I got to constantly be clearing out the energy. And didn't I say that in a previous video, which was like clean slate, clean sweep? I don't know if it was maybe just leading to this moon in Virgo, which let me know it was moon in Virgo very early today. I don't know if I felt it so much yesterday, but definitely today I woke up in that Virgo moon energy. Like, it's almost, I don't want to say it's, you could be just lollygagging and you just start to notice everything that isn't in order. And depending on how much something has been mentioned is out of order, that needs to be put in order, and you're bringing it up because it's becoming a nuisance that needs to be corrected. And it's not by you. It needs to be corrected because of whose responsibility it is to correct it, right? I'm not here to clean your mess. So if I let you know, hey, you have a mess to clean up, please clean it up for the good of all, because it's your responsibility to look after yourself. Oh, and I did hear, what was that? Oh my God, how corny. It was like a commercial when I was a kid, and it was like, give a hoot, don't pollute. Give a hoot, don't pollute. That was a wise owl, I think. I don't remember what they called him. Anyway, oh my God, I'm everywhere, right? Hold that thought. One moment. Okay. Rewind. All the way back to the beginning. We said the benefits of staying in a shitty marriage. So yeah, the benefits of staying in a shitty marriage is all about the convenience of staying comfortable where you are and not having to do more than you're already doing. It's like, I'm getting away with, this is my bare minimum. This is my bare minimum. And every so often I'll go and chase a little dream here and there. And every so often I'll have an ambition or two to go after that might shake things up a little bit, like a workout routine, or go for that, raise, or maybe perhaps, hang out with that new group of friends out there, or join this new community and just see what happens, or, just to spice things up every so often from our nice, very comfortable, mundane, everyday life. And even those little changes sometimes, like taking a Zumba class twice a week, will make a relationship, the loyalty of a relationship will get shaken real quick over something that's small. You'd be surprised. So when a divorce actually occurs, when a separation actually occurs, and someone is not prepared for it because they chose not to listen, they chose not to read between the lines even, or maybe, like, come on, you can't tell me, like, if your spouse is giving you the silent treatment, please do not pretend that that isn't happening, and just live with it like it's normal and wait till they get over it and then just go about your business like it didn't happen. I've seen a multitude of marriages go through situations as small as just the expectation of, this is what you're supposed to do for me every day. Like taking things for granted, like the things that are taken for granted, those smallest things sometimes are the things that add up and will make a very passionate dynamic grow old fast. And you lose the passion to even want to be around one another. So it's important that both people have the curiosity to grow themselves and to understand and evolve themselves, because only then with that can you actually even care to do that for your partner. Or let's say you do that for your partner on automatic. You're always very, all about your partner, but then you don't realize, what about me? Like, your partner doesn't feel you, you don't feel you, but you feel your partner feels, you know what I mean? Like, everything is dependent on that one partner. Like, yeah, you get all the glory, you get all the love, you get all the attention, and I'll be your silent partner here. Like my independence is irrelevant. Like, who I am is irrelevant. And there are partnerships that go like that too, where it's extreme and it's like, there's no value system. And you can see that on both sides of the spectrum. Like, it's not just, the roles can be very much reversed. I have seen where the men are in the feminine role and I've seen the females in the masculine roles. And obviously that is very, I guess, part of society now, where when you have a two income household, it can play out in many forms. Like, most relationships, it's like people have their, I guess you could say, proclivities in how they go about getting theirs. So what was the point of that, people? I do not know. But I also don't care. Okay, why? Because I'm getting to the point where it's like questioning the meaning of everything after a while. It's like, okay, I know when there's a meaning to something, you feel it, you know it, it's there. Sometimes things come to you and you can't figure out the meaning of this thing. It feels so small and minute. Like, how the hell? Like, what? Like, I'm not going to dig so deep into it. Eventually, you either get like a tug that this is meaningful or you don't. And if you don't, it doesn't mean it's meaningless. It just means it's not meaningful enough yet now to pick up on what it is. So you let it go. Geez, I am like rampant, rampage, on a rampage. That's what I meant to say. I'm on a rampage of words. Just can't stop talking. Lord have mercies. All right, these cards fell out as you saw when I was shuffling. I want to see what they are. We got the ballroom and the dagger. So, a lot of emotions here, kind of in the negative, or people are kind of being put through the washing machine, so to speak. But there is a truth that's being exposed about things. So let's see what we can gather real quick. Something to do with the Northwest. Okay. Oh, wow. What are the chances that you're going to get two Northwest and Southeast? Okay, so this is all 4 directions here, folks. So hold that thought. Southeast, Northwest. And I just saw like Northwest, so it's like a 7. 7L could be significant. But something to do with the 4 directions. So this is like making me think that all 4 elements, or this is about everything coming together, like the energies of the Northwest. Got the air element. And then we have the water element. Air and water elements. Exactly. Duh. Water and air. All right, so again, I'm just going to be putting the information out there. If I do get something right away, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, because sometimes I'm called to really ponder something, and other times I'm just like, no, it's because it might not even be for me to have to figure that out. It could be that the message is for you to understand, and you will know exactly what it is for you, even if it's not making much sense for me at this moment right now, personally, in every way. You know what I mean? All right, so there's something to do with some very, people are going through it emotionally right now, and a lot of truth is coming out. And it could be that people are trying to bring together their ideas and merge them with how they feel in order to balance out their duality. I mean, it doesn't get any more dualistic than these directions, and then air and water in that way, the way that they're showing up. So, all right, let's go ahead and start with the overall reading. We'll do the random for all signs and see where everything lands. Did I finish everything I had to say about what I was saying? I talked about it almost came out again. It came out like a title of a book. What was it again? Jeez. Already gone? Already gone. That could be significant. But somebody might be already gone. Like, oh God. Not gone like as in, gone. Just gone maybe from a partnership or something. I don't know. Hey, I was going to say, how do I have all this extra? I forgot about the 10, 11, and 12. All right. Oh my God, I sound like a ditzy airhead right now. Sorry. Okay. No, the title was The Benefits of Staying in a Shitty Partnership. Ooh, we have an Aries or a Libra that has fallen in love, or that has fallen for this partnership. has fallen for a relationship because it was the only one of the characters that was laid down like that. Oh gosh, somebody got... Listen. There's some freaky deaky stuff going on. Some people are having some very passionate thoughts and ideas in their relationships or about their divine partner at this time. This could be you. Ooh, okay. All right, so let's do this as the foundation for the reading. Ooh. We got study, Aries, and lounge. So, somebody studying in Aries energy. Somebody could be studying you. Divine feminine, divine masculine, you watching the querent. Somebody's studying you in order to complete a cycle. Or maybe to see a bigger picture of a situation. All right, I think maybe that came through because we were talking about this Aries or Libra individual. So it's an Aries, more than likely. So Aries, this message is specifically for you. If whether you've fallen for someone or someone has fallen for you, your person is studying you to complete a cycle, or to see a bigger picture of a situation. Like you're helping them close out a cycle, and you're also assisting them to see a larger vision of themselves. So that's a side note. All right. So now we're going to go with the reading, the full reading. Okay. It's looking a little crowded. So there could be something to do with space is getting crowded or something like that. Like space is getting limited. Or it's feeling that way because there's a lot of individuals in the space at this time. So take that as you will, how it, resonates for you. All right, guys, here we go. So we have a Gemini or a Sagittarius in the study with the lounge. So you could be dealing with a Gemini or a Sagittarius that is learning about travel. I'm getting astral travel from automatically. So Gemini or Sagittarius, you could be, you're either studying about travel or you're studying about something to do with communications. Very obviously, because you're Gemini, communications is associated to you and the travel is associated to Sagittarius. But the lounge is the number 9, which is about endings. So completing a cycle of study, but also studying something to do with either philosophy or something to do with travel or religion or communications. Okay? I'm trying to see if there's anything else on that right now. There's also taking the time out to lounge, like you're like taking a break from studying. So some of you could be taking a break from study or have just completed maybe something that maybe a program you were working on or something, and now that it's completed, you get an opportunity to relax, to lounge, maybe take a short trip for a long while. This is sounding like you're interested in exploring what's out there. Like maybe there's more out there. So you're in this very inquisitive space at this time. Now this could be you, divine feminine, divine masculine. It doesn't have to be this sign. You don't have to, like, remember, this is a very general reading, but it's inclusive of all signs and all houses. So it's going to apply to you on some level. It just may not be very potent in your experience. So it could be not, but if it feels, I'm going around the board, so if it feels like it highlights for you, you could be a Libra, and this energy in this house right now is feeling resonant to you, perhaps. Okay, so take that as you will, and also taking into account your sun, moon, and rising signs, so you can feel the vibrations of the energies and apply them where they may be resonant for you at this time. All right, so moving on, we have Taurus or Scorpio individual in the ballroom with Solicitor Peacock here. So a Taurus or a Scorpio is working with the group. They're learning a lot about their values. They're learning about how they feel. They're learning about what they're putting their energy into, their emotional energy into through this group, or they're being they're a part of a group that it's like friends. Maybe they're feeling they're valuing their friends or feeling very comfortable around their friends at this time. Or maybe they're being supported by their friends because they're going through some emotional things. Okay? I feel like that was a short, sweet message. But putting it into perspective with your divine union, I would say that now that there's a cycle of learning that's been completed, there's going to be a lot more fluidity when it comes to communication or even travel or movement or being able to bring closeness from distance. You know what I mean? Like merge the gap, I guess. And it's possible that this is someone that you met through a group or I just heard origami. I don't even know what origami is. I forgot what that is. Is that a plant, or is that one of those things that you cut out? Oh my God, girl. I do not know. My like, seriously, all over the freaking place today. So, okay. Part of an organization or a group that makes you feel very valued, very appreciated, very special. Like, you might be sharing your resources with some of these people. These people might be investing in you. You might be investing in them. And your person could be part of this as well. So it's like you found like a kingship or some kind of group in which you're aligned to, that your divine partner is also aligned to. And somehow the value is increasing in this group dynamic, which is very, very nice. It's spreading. It's spreading like wildfire, I heard. All right. So we have here in the kitchen, we have Miss Peacock in reverse with the sword. So we have a Leo individual, or let me rephrase that. It could be a Leo, but that's not the most important thing. It's a communication that's taking place in your environment at this time, putting truth to a situation in regards to a very toxic